Greetings and welcome back for another Music Theory Bite. In this video, I'm going to show you how to figure out how to sing modulations to closer related keys and to more distantly related keys. These are going to be modulations that are outside of the context of a written melody or harmony, so we'll just kind of figure out how to move around between keys, and there are a couple of techniques for doing that melodically. So if that sounds like something you'd like to learn more about, then this is the video for you. So before you watch this video, you should check out my video on modulation. I actually have a couple of videos on modulation. I'll talk about common chord modulation, what modulation is, how it happens, and the ways that we can think about modulation. So once you've done that, come back to this video and we'll get started talking about how to move from one key to another. So modulation is the change of tonal center. It's one of those things that's unique to Western tonal music, Western art music, because most musical traditions, once you get into a key, you stay in that key until the end of the piece. There are different types of modulation. Sometimes we'll have a direct modulation when we start in one key and we just rapidly shift to another key, but most modulations are what we call prepared modulations, modulations that are set up in some way. At least that's the theory behind it. The practical experience of a modulation is we suddenly have pitches that don't exist in the home key that reorient our sense of where the new tonal center is. So we hear a pitch or we sing a pitch that doesn't sound like it belongs in the home key, and our brains have to suddenly figure out a way to make sense of it. And one of the easiest ways to make sense of it is changing our tonal center. So we're going to have three techniques for modulating to basically any pitch in the major minor tonal system, any key in the major minor tonal system. So our first technique is going to be, we're going to land on the new tonal center, the pitch that we want to now treat as tonic, and then we're going to put in some sort of confirming melodic or harmonic figure that will create a sense of shift of tonal center to that new tonic. So if I start in this key, and let's say I wanted to shift from that key to the dominant, that is, I want to make a new tonic out of what is the old fifth scale degree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by getting to that fifth scale degree. I could go either direction to get there, so I'll just sing a scale up to scale degree 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm on the new pitch that I want to create a new tonal center around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that number to 1, 1, and I'm going to put a leading tone below it or a perfect fourth below it, or both, to create a new sense of tonal center there. 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, and I've just modulated to the dominant. I started in the key of C major, I'm now in the key of G major. But what if I want to go back? Well, what I can do is I can get back to the key of C, that is, figure out what scale degree C is in the key of G, and it's scale degree 4. I'll get down to scale degree 4, and then I'll put that confirming half step followed by a perfect fourth below it. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. 4 becomes 1. 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, and I'm back in the key of C. I've just modulated, first I modulated to the dominant, and then I modulated to the subdominant. I could go to any key, any pitch that's diatonic in my home key, and I could use that technique to get there. So for example, if I wanted to modulate to the relative minor, in this case A minor, that's scale degree 6 in the key of C, so I can get to scale degree 6, 1, 7, 6, and I put a leading tone below it, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, and I'm now in the key of A minor. I want to get back to C major, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing up to scale degree 3, which is C, 1, 2, 3, change that to scale degree 1, and put my confirming figure below it, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. Notice I'm not worrying about whether I'm going to major or minor. So here I'm just going to whatever feels natural there. We can think of major and minor as really being two sides of the same coin. So I could start in C minor, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I could get to G minor or G major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go G major in this case. It's a little strange, but it'll work. 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Or I could go G minor. 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I'm now in G. Get back to C. I'll go C major this time. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4 now becomes 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. The second technique for modulation is similar to the first, except instead of waiting till we land on the pitch that we want to treat as our new tonic, we're going to change scale degree numbers before then so we can lead to it, putting the half steps and whole steps in the right place to create a new sense of tonal center. So back in my key of C major, 1, first I want to confirm my original key, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. And if I want to go to the dominant, which is the key of G in this case, I need to think about when I can shift from key of C numbers to key of G numbers. So I'm thinking here C is scale degree 4 in the key of G. So I can take my 1, this is key of C major, and I'm going to now call that 4. And now I'm going to sing in the key of G major from scale degree 4 up to scale degree 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. Notice that between scale degrees 4 and 5 in the key of C, between F and G, I have a whole step. In order to change that to point to the key of G, I have to put a half step between F sharp and G. Or maybe the better way to think about it is between E and F in the key of C, I have a half step, and then I need to make that a whole step in order to make that an F sharp and point me towards the key of G. I've got to get back 1, key of G, that is scale degree 5 in the key of C, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to 5, I'm going to put the whole steps and half steps in the right place, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, and I've gotten back to my home key. I can use this to get to, once again, any key that is closely related fairly easily by simply just shifting things around a little bit. So let's say I wanted to get to the key of E minor. What I might do is I might start by starting on C, 1, and I want to get to E, 1, so I want to treat this as flat 6, 6, 5, 1. I'm now in the key of E, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. I want to get back to the key of C, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat that E as scale degree 3. 1 becomes 3, 3, 2, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1. So notice how you have to have an idea of where you're going and the combinations of scale degrees that are in common between the two keys, and then where the half steps and whole steps occur. If you know those things, you can figure it out how to get from one key to the next fairly easily. My third technique for modulation is useful, especially if I'm going to keys that are less closely related, more distantly related to my original key. And what that involves is taking a pitch that's diatonic in my first key and treating it as a leading tone to a pitch that probably isn't diatonic in my second key. So for example, if I'm in the key of C, 1, and I want to get to the key of F sharp, there is no F sharp in the key of C. So I've got to figure out how to get there. So if I think about it, if I go a half step below F sharp, I'm going to end up on an E sharp, which is enharmonically equivalent to an F natural. Well, there's an F natural in the key of C. It's scale degree 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I treat 4, 7, 7, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, and I've gotten to the key of F sharp. I've got to get back to the key of C. There is no C in the key of F sharp, but there is a B in the key of F sharp, so if I can get to that B, I can treat that as a leading tone to C. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. That 4 becomes 7, 1, 1, 7, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, and I'm back in the key of C. I could use this to get to any pitch that is not in the key of C, or not in my home key. So using a combination of these techniques, you should be able to modulate to just about anywhere. And that's assuming that you don't have music that's already written, notated, that you have to do it a particular way. This is useful for composition, so if you're trying to come up with something and you have to get from one key to another key, maybe it's a transitional piece or something like that, something that gets you from the key of one piece of music to the key of another piece of music, these are the types of skills that you would want to develop in order to do that. Well, That does it for this Music Theory Bite. If you found it helpful, as always, make sure you like it and feel free to leave constructive comments below. And as always, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for the latest Music Theory Bites as they become available. Until next time.